You feel the hum of the solar winds. It travels through the deck plates of the Stardust Drifter. It is a song only a sailor of the void can hear. This ship is your world, a small bubble of life and light. You sail the star lanes between Earth and the outer colonies. The work is hard but honest. You check the fusion coils. You polish the viewport glass until you can see every crater on Mars. You drink recycled water that tastes faintly of yesterday's nutrient paste. It is a simple life, a good life. Yet you often stare into the deep black. You wonder what else is out there. Your ship catches light on vast, silver sails. They are thinner than paper and miles wide. The sun breathes a constant stream of particles, the solar wind. You ride these currents like an ancient mariner on Earth's oceans. It is a slow, patient way to travel. It gives a person time to think. Sometimes you think too much. You trace the constellations with your finger on the cold glass. You know their names and their stories. But you ache for new stories. You long for a wind that blows from an unknown star. You are about to get your wish. The alarm sounds, a shrill, insistent pulse. It is not the familiar fire drill or depressurization warning. This one is different. The proximity alert, an alert that has never gone off before. Not out here in the empty sea between worlds. You float from your bunk, moving weightlessly toward the bridge. The captain, a woman with iron-gray hair and steady eyes, is at the main console. Her name is Eva Rostova. She points a steady finger at the screen, a single, unidentified contact. It is large, and it is not broadcasting any signal. No transponder, no identity, no life. It's impossible, says a deckhand. There's nothing on the charts for this sector. He is right. Humanity has charted this patch of space 1,000 times. We are alone out here. We have always been alone. That was the official story anyway. The object drifts closer. The Stardust Drifter turns its sensors toward the ghost. The first grainy images appear on the main screen. It is a ship, but it is like no ship you have ever seen. Its hull is not made of alloys we know. It is carved from a single dark material. It looks more like a stone arrowhead than a starship. The ship is clearly derelict. Craters from micrometeoroids scar its surface. A deep gash runs along its port side, a mortal wound. It tumbles slowly, end over end, a silent tomb on the solar waves. The question hangs unspoken in the recycled air of the bridge. Who built it, and what happened to its crew? Captain Rostova's voice cuts through the tension. Assemble the boarding team. Her gaze sweeps across the bridge. It settles on you. Your technical skills might be our only key to unlocking this thing. She trusts you. That trust feels heavier than any tool belt. You nod once, a sharp, professional gesture. Inside, your heart hammers against your ribs. This is the moment you dreamed of. The call to a new shore, a truly unknown one. You meet the rest of the team at the airlock. There are 4 of you. Jax, the muscle, a giant of a man with a nervous smile. Dr. Aris, the science officer. His mind is sharp as a laser scalpel. And Lena, the pilot of your EVA skiff. Jax claps you on the shoulder. Ready to go knock on a stranger's door? He asks. His attempt at humor is a welcome spark in the tense quiet. You grin back, just hope they don't ask us to remove our shoes. The joke lands. The tension eases, just for a second. Dr. Aris gives you a final briefing. We know nothing about their environment. Your suits are our only shield. Do not expose yourself to the atmosphere inside. We have no idea what it is. You check your seals one last time. Everything is green. The mission is a go. The EVA skiff detaches from the Stardust drifter. It is a small, nimble craft. Lena guides it with an expert hand across the gap. The alien ship grows larger, filling your viewport. It is immense. The silence from it is deafening. No lights, no energy readings. Just cold, dead space. Lena matches the derelict's slow tumble. She brings you alongside a massive, circular door. It looks like an iris, closed tight. There are no obvious controls, no buttons, no levers. Just strange geometric patterns carved into the surface. "How do you want to play this?" Lena asks over the comm. You float out of the skiff, your magnetic boots clamping onto the alien hull. Jax is right behind you, carrying a plasma cutter. The direct approach seems best, you say. You place the breaching charge over the center of the door. Stand back. The charge fires with a silent flash. The ancient airlock groans. It shrieks in protest, a sound that travels through the hull into the soles of your boots. With a final shudder, a section of the door gives way. It reveals a perfect black circle, an opening into the unknown. A strange, cold silence awaits you. A faint metallic smell, like ozone and frozen blood, wafts out. You take a breath of your own canned air. Then you plunge into the darkness. The inside is a maze of dark, silent corridors. Your helmet lights cut sharp beams through the black. The architecture is all wrong. The angles are strange, unsettling. It feels less like a machine and more like the inside of a creature. Gravity is low, about 1/10 of a standard G. Every step is a controlled float. You move as a team, covering each other. Every shadow seems to hold a threat. The silence is a pressure on your ears. You have never known a quiet so deep, so absolute. Jax's nervous breathing over the comm is the only sound. It is a strange comfort. Dr. Aris scans the walls. The material is organic in nature, he whispers, but also crystalline. I've never seen anything like it. You find your way to what looks like a command center. A bridge. Consoles are arranged in a circle around a central chair. The chair is empty. You approach a console. The screen is dark, lifeless. But you are a sailor of the solar winds. You know how to coax old machines back to life. You unspool a data probe from your wrist unit. You search for a compatible port. You find one, a small, triangular indentation. It seems to be waiting for you. You connect your probe. You feed a trickle of power from your suit's battery into the alien system. The console flickers. Strange symbols flash across the screen, too fast to read. The data is corrupted, degraded over centuries, or maybe longer. Then you hear it, a whisper in the static. The ship's log flickers with the corrupted data, but the sound is real. It is a voice, faint at first, broken by static. A single, desperate voice cutting through the noise. It is speaking your language, English. The realization sends a chill through you that has nothing to do with the cold. You fine-tune the signal, filtering out the interference. The voice becomes clearer, stronger. It is a man's voice, frightened, but resolute. He is making a recording, a final testament. "This is Elias Vance," the voice says, "acting science officer of the colony ship Hyperion, 7. That name is from the history files. A ship lost over a century ago. We were declared lost," the voice continues. "But we were not lost. We were pioneers. We pushed past the charted stars. We were looking for a new home. The log tells of a lost human outpost, a colony founded in secret, far from the eyes of Earth. They were true explorers, risking everything for a new beginning. They settled on a rogue moon, a world rich in rare minerals. But they found something else in the darkness. something ancient. They dug deep into the moon's crust, deeper than they should have. They unearthed an artifact, a buried ship. This ship, the one you are standing in. The log of Elias Vance continues. He describes their excitement, their wonder. They believed they had made the greatest discovery in human history. They were right, but for all the wrong reasons. They powered up the ship. They studied its systems. They were scientists. They were curious. Too curious. The logs tell of their work. They mapped the ship's interior. They deciphered parts of its language. They learned that the ship was a transport vessel, but they could not figure out what it was carrying. The main cargo bay was sealed with a lock they could not break. The final entries of the log grow more frantic. The voice of Elias Vance is strained. He speaks of a sound, a low, rhythmic hum. It started the moment they powered up the ship's core systems. It came from behind the sealed cargo bay door, a hum that vibrated through the deck. You feel it now yourself. You had mistaken it for the hum of your own suit systems. But it is not. It is coming from deeper within the alien vessel. A low, steady pulse. It is the sound of a great heart, beating slowly in the cold dark. It is the sound of the unseen cargo's power. Following the directions from the log, you lead your team deeper. Down a long, curving ramp. The humming grows stronger. The deck plates vibrate with a deep, resonant energy. It is not threatening. It feels patient, like a sleeping giant. The ramp ends before a massive, sealed chamber. The source of the hum. The door is a perfect circle, just like the outer airlock. But this one is glowing faintly. A soft, blue light pulses in time with the hum. Dr. Aris moves forward with his scanners. The energy readings are off the scale, he says, his voice full of awe. This isn't a power source. It's something more. Jax places a hand on the glowing door. He snatches it back as if burned. It's warm, he says, and it feels like it's pushing back. The door is more than a barrier. It is a containment field, a cage, and something inside is very much awake. You return to the voice of Elias Vance. The final log entry is a dire warning. His voice is a choked whisper now. He sounds like a man on the edge of madness. We shouldn't have opened it, he says. We thought it was a gift, a treasure. We were so wrong. He describes what happened. They finally managed to bypass the lock on the cargo bay. The door opened, but there was nothing inside. Just an empty room. They were confused, disappointed. But the humming had stopped. For a single, terrible moment, there was only silence. Then the voice came. Not through their comms, but inside their heads. An ancient intelligence was awakened by the colonists. It spoke to us, Vance cries from the past. It told us its name. It called itself the Elder Ones. And it was hungry, not for food, for minds, for experiences. The log ends in a scream. A heavy silence falls over your team. The scream from the past echoes in your mind. You look at the glowing door. The rhythmic hum continues its steady beat. Jax takes a step back. We should leave, he says, his voice tight. We should seal this place and never come back. But then, something changes. The hum stops. The blue light from the door intensifies, brightening the entire corridor. A new voice speaks. Not from the log. It is inside your helmet, inside your mind. It is calm, powerful, ancient. Do not be afraid, it says. Elias Vance was wrong. The voice of the Elder Ones fills your thoughts. It is not a single voice, but a chorus. Thousands of minds speaking as one. They were not hostile, but curious. They had been waiting for a species to reach them. a species that could understand. The colony of Hyperion was a tragedy, the voices say. Their fear made them hear a monster. Their panic was their own undoing. The elder, ones explain. They are explorers too, of a different kind. They do not travel in physical bodies. They are beings of pure consciousness. They sent this ship, this vessel of thought, as a test, a greeting card to the cosmos, a way to find others who were ready to see the bigger picture. Your species is young, the elder, ones continue, full of fear but also great courage. You did not run. You listened. You have passed the first test. The glowing door before you begins to change. The light solidifies. It retracts into the walls, disappearing completely. The way is open. You stand at the threshold of the chamber. The great cargo bay is revealed, but it is not empty as the colonist had claimed. The chamber's interior is a single, massive crystal. It glows with a soft, internal light. And then, the projection begins. The cargo chamber opens to reveal a projection. It is a map. Stars ignite in the center of the room. Nebulae swirl in vibrant colors. Galaxies spin in silent majesty. It is a map to unknown regions of space, a three-dimensional chart of the star-born seas. It shows pathways, safe currents in the cosmic ocean. It points to worlds that are teeming with life, worlds that humanity has only dreamed of. The map is breathtaking. It is the single most important discovery in human history. A gift beyond all measure. It is a roadmap to a future you never thought possible. Dr. Aris is speechless, his hands tracing the holographic stars. Even Jax, the hardened soldier, stares with wide-eyed wonder. The voices of the elder, one speak one last time. This is our invitation, they say, a chart to our shores. We will wait for you among the stars. Then they are gone. The mental contact ceases. The chamber is silent, except for the soft hum of the projection. You are alone again, with a choice that will define the future of your species. You activate your comm link to the Stardust Drifter. Captain, you say, your voice thick with emotion. You need to see this. You transmit the data from the star map. The incredible images flash across the main screen on your ship's bridge. The comm is silent for a full minute. You can hear the faint sound of the captain's breathing. The captain's heavy burden is now clear. What does she do? What does humanity do? To accept this gift is to change course forever, to sail into a universe far larger and more complex than ever imagined. It means leaving the safety of the known shore. It means embracing a future that is both glorious and terrifying. What is your assessment? Captain Rostova finally asks. Her voice is strained. She is not just asking for a report. She's asking for your counsel, for your feeling as a sailor who has touched the edge of a new ocean. The weight of her question settles upon you. The fate of humanity rests in this single moment. Before you can formulate a reply, another voice cuts in. It is Jax. His voice is sharp, urgent. It's a trick, Captain, he says. A lie to get us to lower our guard. Vance's warning was real. This is a Trojan horse, and we are about to invite it into our home. Jax has always been cautious, a man who sees a threat in every shadow. But this is different. This is not caution. It is fear. Raw, unreasoning fear. Humanity is not ready for this, he says, his voice rising. We can't handle this kind of power, this kind of knowledge. It will destroy us. He turns away from you, moving toward the central projector, the source of the star map. His hand reaches for the emergency power conduit. He intends to shut it down, to erase the map, to blind you all to the new dawn, I am sorry, he says, his voice low and determined. But I cannot let you risk everything we are. A traitor in the ranks. Not for greed or for power, but for a misguided sense of protection. He believes the discovery is too dangerous. He believes he is saving humanity from itself. And in that moment, he is the most dangerous man in the universe. He is about to make a choice for all of mankind. Captain Rostova's command is sharp and immediate. Stop him, she orders over the comm. Do not let him destroy that map. You move without thinking. You launch yourself from the deck, pushing off toward Jax. He turns to face you, brandishing a plasma cutter. It is a tool, not a weapon, but it can cut through a starship's hull and your suit. Just as you are about to collide, the ship lurches. The artificial gravity system fails. The chamber is plunged into zero gravity. Tools and equipment drift lazily through the air. You and Jax float suspended in the strange, beautiful light of the star map. A standoff in zero gravity, the future of human exploration hangs in the balance. Jax is clumsy in zero-G. He is a ground pounder, a soldier. You are a sailor of the void. This is your ocean. You use the lack of gravity to your advantage. You push off a floating console, circling around him. He swings the cutter wildly, trying to track you. Listen to me, Jax, you say, your voice calm and steady. You're scared, you continue. I get it. This is bigger than any of us. But we can't let fear make our choices for us. You drift closer to him, staying just out of his reach. The light from the projected stars dances across your helmet. We sail the solar winds, Jax. We don't fight them. We ride them. We use them to take us to new places. Your words seem to reach him. He hesitates. The plasma cutter wavers in his hand. This is just a new current, you say softly. A stronger wind. We have to have the courage to raise our sails to it. He looks from you to the beautiful, swirling map. He sees the worlds humanity could visit, the wonders it could see. In that moment of hesitation, Dr. Aris acts. He launches himself from the wall, tackling Jax from the side. The two men tumble through the air. The plasma cutter flies from Jax's grasp, spinning harmlessly into the darkness. Lena, the skiff pilot, is there in a second. She helps secure the struggling soldier. The crisis is over. You protected the map. The judgment of the solar seas is swift and quiet. You did not defeat Jax with violence. You defeated him with reason, with the philosophy of a sailor. You saw the tide of the future, and you chose to ride it. You understood that the greatest risk is not in sailing to a new shore, but in never leaving the harbor at all. Back on the Stardust Drifter, the mood is forever changed. Jax is confined to his quarters. He is not a monster, just a man broken by his own fear. He will face a hearing when you return. But you know that the true judgment has already been passed, here in the silent sea between the stars. The bridge is quiet. The star map glows on the main screen, a silent promise of a new age. Captain Rostova stands before it, her hands clasped behind her back. She turns to face the crew. She turns to face you. There is no fear in her eyes, only resolve. For a century, we have sailed these familiar lanes, she says, her voice ringing with a new strength. We have grown comfortable in our little pond. But the universe is not a pond. It is an ocean, and it is time we learn to swim. She looks at you, a small smile on her lips. Plot a new course, she says. Take us to the nearest star on that map. Your fingers fly across the console. You input the new coordinates. The Stardust Drifter comes alive. Its massive solar sails pivot, turning to catch a new, unseen wind. A current that flows from a distant star. A course is set. A new chapter for humanity is about to be written. You are sailing towards a new dawn. Humanity is no longer alone in the cosmos. And you, a simple sailor of the void, are at the helm.